Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life and the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. What is going on, guys? What's good? Good morning, happy Friday morning. I wanted to hop on here just real quick, shoot a quick video. I didn't do the live, obviously. I just tested the live the other day. I hope it went well. I know we lost connection three times, as a matter of fact. But yeah, so some interesting stuff. Just wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, the one of the things is just the lack of the announcement, right? So I was on a Telegram last night around 9 o'clock or so, and I guess they were saying that President Trump, I haven't watched it, so there was no announcement. Certainly nothing related to the digital asset that is XRP, the greatest digital asset that is XRP, or even the digital asset space from what I understand. Please correct me in the comments if there was some kind of announcement, but I don't believe that it was. So that's an interesting thing. Just kind of to note, I guess the president is just on a big time clickbait thing that he's doing, because a lot of times I keep hearing there's going to be an announcement, and there's never an announcement. So interesting. But anyway, so the other thing is this whole thing with Christine Lagarde becoming the head of the ECB, the European Central Bank, and Mark Carney, previously of the Bank of England, now being the manager and director of the IMF. And I know a lot of people were kind of discussing why that whole move. Some people were kind of bummed out that our biggest advocate and the powers that be, Christine Lagarde from the IMF, has moved on, and people kind of a little concerned. I think what's going on is actually absolutely pretty perfect and is very strategic in a lot of ways, even if it wasn't planned, which I don't think that it was. But a lot of people are asking why would they take those positions? And I think, the more important question is, a lot of times people want to concentrate on who's moving in, right? Who's moving into positions, right? Who is Christine Lagarde and who is Mark Carney? But I think the better question to ask, quite honestly, is who moved out? Who moved out, right? So in other words, who did Mark Carney replace? Well, we all know he replaced Christine Lagarde. And so, okay, cool. Christine Lagarde has always been on, and currently is, an advocate of the digital asset space. Ooh, man, that thing's out there by itself. And more importantly, the greatest digital asset ever created in XRP. So that's cool. So in terms of the bigger picture, who is going out from the ECB, right? Who was that person that Christine Lagarde now replaces? I think that is the more important question. Who was that? Who was that? And what was his or her stance on the digital asset space? What was it? I think it's very, very similar to, I think people, when they look at the Swift guy, his exit is out, people are kind of not really kind of questioning why. And there's some reason why he's out the door, and it's not just because he's just ready to go, right? It's because he missed it, right? He missed it, right? Because this thing, they've known about XRP and what it can do for years, but he missed it, right? And so that's why he's out the door, in my humble opinion. And I think it's the head of the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, not the head, but one of the top guys, this Augustin Corsten guy, I think his name is. He was given a shot, right? That whole meeting where Brad was at the end of the table and they were talking, I think it might have been the Swiss, some kind of Swift conference. I forget the name of it, but I think it was a Swift conference. When Brad Garlinghouse was speaking and Christine Lagarde was there, and that Augustin guy was there as well, he was given a shot. He was given a shot to change his stance on digital assets or not, because we are moving forward with this guy named Brad and his company Ripple and his digital asset that is XRP. And you have a chance to move forward or not, right? That's why all of a sudden the quick 180-degree turn on his stance on digital assets, right? Especially XRP, right? And so, you know, in corporate America, in the real world, that kind of stuff happens all the time, and that people are given an opportunity to take advantage of advancing technology or not. A prime example of that is blockbuster videos, right? Blockbuster videos. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but Netflix went to the people at Blockbuster and say, hey, this is what we got. Are you interested in, you know, investing in us? You know, we'll give you a certain amount, you know, very, very similar to the whole Shark Tank thing. And Blockbuster said, we're not interested, quote unquote. That will never take, you know, people will never buy into that concept. But Netflix had a chance to buy it, and they passed on it. And we all know what happened to Blockbuster Video. So my thing is, this ECB guy, who is it? I don't know. Quite honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. And what was his stance on digital assets? That would be my question. Because my thing is, the powers that be know that they need the right people in place at the right positions. And the head of the European Central Bank is a major bank. It's a major cog in that wheel, if you will. And if the person in charge there is not moving forward with the rest of the group, right, and can slow things down, then he or she has to go. That's my thing. And I came across an article, I think it was from eCurrency, and it talked about the ESDR. And it talked about, you know, this is in 2016, and how they're looking at this. They've been looking at this ESDR thing, you know, electronic special drawing rights thing, and how that was going to work. And it mentioned the 5 countries that were in that basket, right? And so obviously Europe is massive. It is major. It's an important part, a keg or cog in the wheel, right? And so the head of the European Central Bank is massive. It's major. And my thing is my thinking is that they needed someone forward thinking on board what is in fact inevitable, and that is the digital asset economy, right? Trump calls it the digital economy. It's here. And the advantages to it are unquestioned. And it seems as though the powers that be right now, the only thing that they can really, really wrap their heads around is the cross-border payments and the settlement thereof of those cross-border payments. That's the thing that they can see. It makes sense. They can look at the numbers. They can see the capital, the nostro vostros, and how that capital can be released and freed up. They can see it. Okay, yeah. So that's their thing. And that's the thing that they probably will be more comfortable moving forward with. In fact, it's being moved forward with, obviously. Right? Because they're really, really getting the whole fintech thing. And they really, really, the central banks I'm talking, and they really, really get that, hey, you can't stop it. Can't stop it. We missed it. We're a little behind. The fintech space is coming with the solution to a problem. And we have to leverage it, or we're going to get left behind. And so that fintech company, the number one, not that there aren't others, and not that there won't be others in the future, but the number one player right now is the company Ripple, and their greatest digital asset is XRP. And so, you know, the thing with Mark Carney and Christine Lagarde, again, I think that the powers that be need need the right people in place at the right positions, and that was the move. Now, whether it's planned or not, I mean, that's debatable. That's debatable whether it was planned or not. I don't know. I'm still 50-50. For the most part, I don't think that it was planned, because I think Christine Lagarde was doing a lot of good things where she was. But I think I think that they think that a better position for them, a better hedge for what they're looking to do going forward, was to have Christine at the ECB and to have Mark Carney, right? In other words, he can't screw it up. He's competent enough that he can't screw it up. He's familiar with the fintech company that is Ripple, and that might be a big reason to it, right? Familiar with it. I think, when I think at Mark Carney at the IMF, I think of it as, kind of like our elected officials here in the States, where we kind of like to have them have some background or some experience, whether it be military or successful business person, right? Some hands-on experience. You kind of want to have that. And I think that's probably what they're looking at with Mark Carney as well, because he is familiar. He's been in the banking system, and he's familiar with this fintech thing and working with them and how that works and why it works, because the Bank of England is a Ripple partner. So there it is, guys. That's kind of the interesting stuff. I think what's also important to think about is, that right now, what they see is XRP as a bridge currency. The powers that be, that's what they see. They see how it works. They see how it can be huge and it's massive. When you can provide speed in the financial system, that's massive, because they know that speed is money. They know speed is money. Speed is money. So anyway, guys, that's where we are. That's the whole thing, in my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think about the Mark Carney and Christine Lagarde move. What do you guys think about that? I think it's massive. MoneyGram and that partnership, strategic partnership with Ripple, is going to be massive in so many ways. And just understand that, although XRP is providing the speed, MoneyGram has the liquidity, right? They have established entry and exit points. They have these, right? They already have those in place. That's going to be a very quick thing. And I think people, let's not forget that is going to be a very, very quick thing in terms of the use case, the utility of XRP. Getting these, that volume, that use case out there into the world. That is our greatest strength. And if people would just kind of take a second and listen to what Brad and listen to what Joel Cat, David Schwartz is saying, they tell you subtly what's going on. When Brad says, the further we move along, the greatest attribute any digital asset will have will be its use case. We can't be in a digital asset world and where the vast majority of people are just simply holding on to the asset, right? It's got to be used. It's got to be used. And so if your ecosystem, whatever digital assets it is not set up to prove its case by it being used, it's in trouble. The whole holding on to a thing is not going to work. You're not going to get the value from it. It's going to be use case, guys. It's going to be use case. And for us, the greatest digital asset for XRP holders, without question, think about the genius in setting up that X Spring and going out so that they can go out and prove more use cases for XRP. It's just genius. It's just genius, right? It's genius. And the fact that one of the greatest things they can do is act as a bridge currency in the financial space is massive in so many ways. So many ways. So the key, guys, is for us to be patient. Understand that if you're an XRP holder and you have some bags, that you hold the greatest digital asset ever created, and that here's the bottom line: the powers that be want it in their hands, and you have it, and that makes it very, very, very valuable. Very, very valuable. And in addition to that, the fact that it can be used and it proves its use case is even more valuable. So we're blessed, so blessed to be where we are, early in this digital asset space, holding on to the greatest digital asset ever created. You got to get that, guys. You got to get that. It's massive. So anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off here real quick. I just wanted to let you know, never ever forget that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. Right? They don't want us to win. They would rather us could continue to remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our time to win, guys. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought. The victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.